Mary asks, when do you see Ibrahim reaching out?
So I'm hearing 3 months for some reason. So whatever's going on that side, it's going to take a little bit of time for bravery, I think. That's what it feels like.
All right. Claudia asks, will I get this tattoo apprenticeship job, please?
Yeah. So it sounds like you're going to be there for a little bit, but there is going to be another opportunity that's going to come up that's going to be more in alignment with you, okay? So it's temporary where you're going to be for this. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This person says, I'm Jen. Is Tony my new man in my life?
Yeah. So here's I'm going to give you some advice with this. You guys aren't on the same page yet. That doesn't mean you're not going to be on the same page. So just make sure you're taking things slow and you're not rushing ahead of your partner. Okay. Yeah.
All right. A Holly asks, will I get engaged soon?
I'm hearing later next year. Okay. So it's not happening this year.
All right. Sherry asks, will my finances improve soon, and anything from my dad?
So what I'm hearing for you, honey, is it's going to be more about 7 months. So it's into the next year, but you've already started the process of shifting it. So energetically speaking, you've already worked on that energy and it's already moving in the right alignment. So don't stress too much. When things come up, just be like, no, that's the old energy, the old momentum of me, and I'm focusing on what I do want. What I do feel is you have a lot of spirit activity around you, and it feels like there's, somebody trying to reach out to you. So I would pay attention to the activity that's happening. I do see that the lights sometimes flicker and there's things being moved around the house. So that to me is validation that somebody's with you, okay?
All right, so we've got a few more people on if you want to go
Sure,
over the rules
yeah.
and the website and stuff.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Rebecca Dragonheart, and I'm a psychic medium. I do my work, or have been doing my work now since 1993. You can book a private session with me if you'd like to do so. It's through my website, RebeccaDragonheart.com. I'm also on YouTube, and I am trying to go live there, so I do need 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys are interested in subscribing there, please come find me. My link is in my bio. Here on my live, how it works is ask your question, give me a few minutes to respond. If I haven't responded, then you can go ahead and ask again. But we do get a lot of people on here, and if you spam, it just doesn't work. All right?
All right.
All right.
Anna asks, what messages do my spirit guides have for me?
So you're opening up, and you've actually opened up a lot, and they're telling me like the last 8 months have been pretty big for you. So it's really going to be paying attention to the signs that they're giving you. I hear that they do use numbers a lot with you, but they also do use people. So what I mean by that is you'll be talking about something, and then somebody will bring up something around that topic or around that subject to just validate for you, okay? So it's really important that you keep track of the inspirational stuff that's coming through, okay? Your guides are communicating quite loudly with you, and I think most of the time you do hear or you do recognize that it's them, but you don't necessarily understand the message. So just start writing it down and keeping track of it, and it will help you, okay?
All right. Katrina asks, when will I move out to my own apartment?
Oh, it's still a little bit. It's going to be in the next year, so it is in 2022. Let me just hear. It feels like it's about 5 to 6 months, okay, honey? You have to have the right place come up for you, and that's the thing. But it's going to happen, so that's good, right?
All right. Maria Becerra asks, hi, Rebecca, am I in the right job? Thank you.
Yeah, for now is what I hear. So where you are right now, it feels like a transition job. So it's not where you're staying, okay? But you are going to learn a lot where you are, so it is promising in that aspect of things, okay? I feel it's temporary. It's only going to be maximum another year or two at most, okay? But it is a stepping stone into the next step for you, okay? So it is the right alignment right now.
All right. 1 second.
I see it's moving fast.
Yes. Tegan asks, what will happen with Ben romantically?
Okay, so Tegan, you're a little bit ahead of Ben, and there's a lot of fear on Ben's side. I don't know, it feels like there's been a lot of mistakes made, romantically speaking, so you're gonna need to help him. That's what I hear. You're gonna need to give him some support that way, and just be open and honest and really be authentic, and don't be pushy is what I hear, because you have to take it slow with him, okay? But I mean, it is going to work out. I feel that it's definitely the right movement in the right direction for both of you. You're going to help them heal. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Veronica asks, when will I hear on the final decision on my appeal?
So I hear it early next year. So it is coming through.
All right.
Oh, thank you, honey.
This person says, Teresa here, will my daughter finally get her life together or not?
Yeah, 2 years before it's really together, but she's moving in the direction that she needs to be moving. It's hard because she has attachments, and what I mean by that is like certain individuals in her life that kind of hold her back, and so it's going to take her some time to break free of that energetically. So yeah, I hear it's going to take about a couple of years before she is really on track. Okay, be supportive. I know it's hard sometimes because as a parent, you don't want to watch them making mistakes, but in this case, you kind of have to, okay? And just be there when she's ready to ask for help. Yeah.
All right. Jasmine asks, will my pregnancy go well? Kind of nervous.
Yes, you're going to be okay. It's the typical pregnancy stuff, so you're going to feel achy and nauseous and all of that. Just take extra care of yourself, and please, please, please don't push yourself harder than you need to, okay? Because you are somebody who is a doer. You do not like to sit still, and I feel this is something you're going to need to practice a little bit during your pregnancy, okay? Yeah, but it's going to be fine. Everything's going to work out, so don't worry about that, okay?
All right. Beth asks, is a career move a good choice? Will I get the job? Also, anything about adoption?
So I hear yes for one, for the adoption. You are definitely going to have that work out. What I'm hearing with the career, the change is going to happen, and it's interesting because it looks like it's going to change a couple of times over the next 2.5 years. So this is like the starting point. You're going to test the waters here, and then it looks like you're going to have an opportunity to move into a different branch of what you're doing, okay? So it's definitely the right choice for you and the right move for you, okay? Don't be afraid.
All right. Jack asks, will I meet somebody before the end of this year?
So I hear early next year, honey. Yeah. Thank you.
Kennedy asks, will I get pregnant soon? I've been trying.
Yeah, it's going to be next year. Don't get disheartened, honey, because, everything has to happen in the right timing, okay? And sometimes we're ready, but Spirit's not quite ready. And that's what I'm hearing is happening is the alignment has to be, it literally is the astrological alignment for this child coming in, okay? So you're going to have to wait just a little bit, but it is next year, okay? Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Veronica.
Oh, thanks, Veronica.
All right. Georgette from Australia asks, will I find financial stability soon?
Yeah, honey. So you've already kind of moved in that right direction. But here's the thing, you still are hanging on to your old fears. And so what ends up happening is you start getting ahead, and then you start worrying that things are going to fall apart again, or that you're going to have some issues, and then something comes up and you have to pay it. Okay, so it's really about you fixing how you're fearing about your finances. Okay, and what I'm hearing is it's a little back and forth with you for the next year, but you are going to find that stability, and I see a lot of success actually in 2023 for you. So whatever it is that you're shifting into, it's definitely bringing you a lot of abundance. Okay.
All right. Yari asks, am I meant to have one more child, and will I ever get married?
So I don't hear that you're going to have another child, but I do hear that you are going to take care of somebody else's. So it might be that you're having a stepchild come into your life. Okay, so there will be another child, but you're not physically going to have another one, I'm hearing. Okay.
Right. We have a few more people on if you want to.
Sure, yeah. So welcome everybody. My name is Rebecca Dragonheart, and I'm a psychic medium. I have been doing my work now since 1993. You can book a session with me if you'd like a private reading. It is through my website, RebeccaDragonheart.com. I'm also on YouTube, and I am trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys would be awesome and come subscribe, as soon as I hit 1,000, I'm going to go live there. So it's a little easier to get your questions answered because it'll be a smaller venue. Okay.
And go over the rules.
Oh, the rules. Sorry. Yeah. Please don't spam me. Ask your question. Give a few minutes. If I haven't responded, feel free to ask again. Just that it's always really busy on my site. Also, if you have an interesting or obscure username, just put your initials or your name in with your question. Okay, guys? Thank you.
Right. Jane asks, will I study abroad with a full scholarship?
Partial, I'm hearing. So you will come abroad, but it is going to be a partial. But I feel that somebody is going to step up and supplement you. So you're not going to have to stress or worry about finances, okay? Somebody is going to step in and do the other half of it. Or it's not even half, it's like partial and then a little bit left over that you're going to have to worry about. But somebody's going to help you with that, so it's okay. Thank you, honey.
All right. Bree or Bri asks, will I retire next year? Also, will I see my wife in January?
So I'm hearing it's actually going to be a little bit longer, and it's probably what I'm hearing is it's like you're needed. So you can't go next year. It feels like it's more of a 2.5 year plan. Okay, so it is going to be a little bit delayed. Sorry. And what was the other part of the question?
Will they see their wife in January?
Yes.
All right. Jackie asks, when will I get a new job / what field?
So I see schooling happening. Whatever you're doing now, it looks like it's changing. It looks like technical, so it looks like you're either taking how to use laboratory equipment or something like that. And I'm hearing that it's about 7 months before you get there. Okay, but it looks like you're working in a lab. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Cynthia here. Will my husband and I buy a house or have a baby next year? Thank you, you're awesome.
Yeah, it's very promising for both things, honey. So you're going to have both next year. The pregnancy, it feels like it's going to be a little bit later. So get all of your ducks in a row first, and then the pregnancy will happen as you get settled. But it's later in the year for the pregnancy, okay? Both next year, though. Yay. Keep me posted on that. Thank you, honey.
All right. Myra asks, am I on the right path in my career?
Yeah. So here's the thing, honey. I hear, again, upgrading for you, okay? So whatever it is that you're doing now, it sounds like there's going to be some opportunities to take some extra courses. It's not like you're going to school. It's more like online stuff. But it looks like 3 specific things are going to come up over the next year. Take them all is what I'm hearing, because it's just going to help you stand out whenever things change in your environment, okay? So it just gives a stronger resume for you. And that's what I'm hearing.
All right.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Candace asks, should I have a baby on my own in the near future?
No. No, you have different energies coming into your life in the next 2 years is what I'm hearing. You don't need to do it on your own, honey. You're going to have the partner with you, okay? Yeah. So just be patient. I know you're feeling like time is running out and you're feeling like I got to do it now, but that's not the case and that's not how that works. So just be patient. I do hear within the next 2 years that everything's going to fall into place the way it needs to for you, okay?
All right.
Thank you, honey.
Hilda Fleming asks, going through a divorce, been rough. How will this end and when?
Oh, divorce is so tough. And the thing is, you guys have still a lot of entangled energy, so you got to work through that a little bit. What I'm hearing is it's about 7 months before everything is final. Really take some time for you, honey. That's what I hear more than anything. You need to really self-love, self-care. Okay? Okay. I don't know what that was. Something just fell. Do you see anything on the floor there?
Nope. That's fine. We'll find it after.
Interesting. Self-love, self-care. I will reiterate that for you.
All right. 1 second. Mary Beth asks, will this IUI, I think that's what she meant to say, result in pregnancy?
So it's
IVF,
yeah, probably. Yes, I do see that. So here's the thing. It feels like maybe not the first, so you may have to go twice. Okay, so whatever's going on there, it looks like you might have to go again. But I'm going to say that it is going to be successful, so don't give up, okay? Yeah, it's what's meant to be for you. And I do feel like you need the assistance for sure, okay?
All right. Melanie asks, will Osvaldo and I ever be serious?
Oh, I heard no. Sorry, honey. Somebody else is going to come into your life that is ready, willing, and able. It feels like your partner is not quite able to be the person that you're asking him to be, okay? Sorry.
All right. We also have a lot more viewers now who just want to go over your booking.
For sure. Hi, guys. Welcome. My name is Rebecca Dragonheart, and I am a psychic medium. If you do want to book a reading with me, you can do so through my website, RebeccaDragonheart.com. I have been doing this since 1993, so for a very long time. On my website, you will actually see a little bit more about me and a bunch of testimonials from people who've had previous readings. Here on my lives, if you can just ask your question, give me a few minutes. If I haven't responded, feel free to ask again, just because I have a lot of people usually on. And if you have an interesting or an obscure username, just put your initials or your name in with your question, okay? All right.
Martina asks, will I meet my future husband next year or the year after? Will it be in the aviation field?
I hear it's going to be in October. So there's very specific for you. So October of next year. Okay? Yeah. I don't think they're going to be in aviation in specifically, but somewhere around that field is what I'm hearing. So I'm not sure what they mean by that, but you're going to find out.
All right. Pearl asks, will Sheldon ever open up to me genuinely?
Not the way that you're expecting, but genuinely for Sheldon, yes. Okay. So everybody has their own level of comfort and ability to be a certain way. You are very open-hearted and you're very raw. And I don't see Sheldon being able to be that raw, okay? But I do feel that there is going to be an open line of communication that's happening. It's already started in its own way. It's just that you're expecting more out of Sheldon than Sheldon is capable of doing because that's not where he is emotionally, okay? Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Anne asks, am I going to regret my decision about leaving?
No, honey. What I'm hearing is it's going to take about 2 years for everything to kind of improve. And actually what is going to end up happening is what you've left behind is going to be better, tenfold in the next 2 years. Okay. So you're going to attract and reattract what you've already been through and better. So don't worry. It was the right decision. And you know that really deep down that you needed to make that choice. Oh, thank you. You guys, you're so sweet.
All right. Nelisha asks, am I going to fall pregnant in the next few months and will it be twins?
So I do hear that you're going to get pregnant. It feels like it's going to be around April. And I do hear twins. Yeah. Yeah. So make sure you keep me posted.
All right. 1 second.
Mm-hmm. Aw, thank you.
All right. Z asks, should I leave my job and will I find a suitable job for me?
Mm-hmm. You need to be doing something that's going to tap into your creativity, okay? If you're not doing that, you're not going to be happy. So if you're in a job where you're literally just computer programming or something, boring like that. Sorry, I know some people love it, but for a lot of people, it can be very hard to do. You're not going to be okay. But if you're in a job, say like sales or even advertisement, and you get to put your creative efforts into it, it's going to be phenomenal for you. Okay, honey? So just anything that's going to really push your creativity. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, so really fast.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
Jaden asks, will I get into my majors program?
Yes. Yeah. There's no hesitation there, honey. So just trust that it's what you're meant to be doing, okay? And I see you actually doing something extra after you're done. So you're adding to whatever it is that you're taking. It looks like you're going to be there a little bit longer. Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Melissa asks, will I ever meet someone who matches my energy?
Mm-hmm. So you've done a lot of work, honey, and I'm going to tell you, your guys are saying kudos to you. You've done a lot of clearing and a lot of work. So you have to really give yourself that kudos for that, okay? What I hear is going to happen is over the next 4 months, there are going to be some challenges coming up, and you're going to pass over those super easy, and as soon as that is done, you're going to have an open heart for the right vibrational energy to come in, okay? I just want to hear. So, I don't know, there's a T in the name there, so I don't know if that helps. You don't have to get caught up on that part, but I do hear it's going to be early next year for you, so don't worry about that.
All right. JC asks, any messages from my grandpas who passed away a week apart?
Wow. So you have one that comes a little bit more than the other. So it looks like you have one that visits quite regularly. It's almost a daily thing. I hear that they're coming in mostly when you're in at night. So that's when you're quieting down. And so they're coming in to check on you. And you have the other one, it doesn't feel like they're around as much, and it's mostly because you don't need them. So I do feel that there's somebody else in the family who is in more desperate need of them. Are you seeing something?
No, there was a mosquito.
Oh, interesting. Anyway, so they're in the space of somebody else helping and supporting there. Okay. Now, that being said, they do come visit you when you talk about them or you pull them. Okay. So just thinking about them will bring them to you. And really, more than anything, honey, you're doing the right things in life. So keep going the way that you're going. And they're very, very proud of you. So don't worry about that. Okay. You are definitely moving in the right direction in your life. Okay.
All right. Next question.
You bet.
Casey asks, do I already know the man I will marry?
Yes. Yep. I'm just feeling it. Definitely. It doesn't feel like you guys are there yet, or that this even has become serious anything yet, but it feels like it is definitely moving in that direction for you. Okay.
All right.
Oh, thank you. You guys are so generous.
All right. Mickey asks, hi, any loved ones with me as guides? Thank you.
So you have your main guides. What I see with you is you have 3. So everybody has a different number depending on what they're here doing. You feel like you have 2 females and a male. And when it comes to family, it feels like you have a lot of people on the other side who've crossed over. So just know that they do watch over you and they do step in your tough times is what I hear. So you don't really have anybody who's there needing to guide you per se, but they're there to support you is what I'm hearing. So they only come in when you're in need, more so than anything. With the guides that you do have, your spirit guides, what I'm hearing is you need to communicate with them a little bit more, because you're not necessarily doing that as much as you should. Okay. And they will respond and they will give you the guidance that you're looking for, honey. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Linda asks, is Frank nervous about reaching out, and does he have feelings for me?
Not so nervous. I think more than anything, it just feels like he's slow at doing it. Not so much nervous about doing it. What I would do if I was in your circumstances, I would make the first move, because if you're waiting on somebody else, they're not going to do things in the timing or in the way that you're looking for. Okay. So what I'm hearing is just reach out and be like, hey, this, be honest. First of all, life is too short to sit and wait. Okay.
All right. Kelly asks, will I have any more kids? If so, when?
So I hear you will have one more. It feels like it's going to be not next year, but the following year. So whatever's going on in your life, that's when the timing sounds right. Okay. So don't do it too soon. Okay.
Right.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Sorry, one second here.
It's okay. I see it's moving really fast.
Yeah. All right. Danny Marie asks, is my grandmother happy and is she with me? She died unexpectedly from COVID.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, 100% she's with you, but for some reason she's telling me it wasn't COVID. So I don't know what she means by that. Maybe it was just complications from COVID, and that's what took her. Okay. What I'm hearing is that she comes in she likes to be with you all the time. So you guys were pretty close, or at least you feel like you really cared about her and you seem very important to her. What I'm seeing with her is that when you do gatherings or when you have people around, family around, she's always a part of it. She's very lively. So not how you would picture a grandmother. Like, she just has a lot of spry energy. So don't think of her as gone. That's what I'm going to say, and communicate with her a little bit more. What I would say is ask her to leave you signs. I do hear that she does leave feathers sometimes, so pay attention to that. And she does like to leave you money, and it's not always coins. So sometimes she's going to, like, you'd be walking down the street and you'll find a $5 bill or, that kind of thing. So she's going to leave you money. And I get the feeling that she was always the one that like sent you money in a card or whatever, that type of thing. That's her way of validating, I think. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, honey.
Nikki asks, will the move work out?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there's going to be a few hiccups, but yes, it's going to work out. So just breathe, honey. I know it's tough because there's a lot going on and it feels like you're being pulled in a lot of different directions, but everything is it's just going to be okay. Okay. Oh, thank you, honey.
Do you want to go over everything one more time? We've got 100 more people.
Whoa, really? Okay. Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Rebecca Dragonheart, and I am a psychic medium. I have been doing my work since 1993. If you do want to book with me, you can do so through my website, RebeccaDragonheart.com. It is first come, first serve. So just go into the website. You can see a little bit more about me and a bunch of testimonials. Oh, you guys are so generous. Thank you so much. Also, if you can just not spam us, just ask your question. Give me a few minutes. If I haven't responded, feel free to ask again, okay? All right, next.
All right. Leanne says, Leanne wants to know if she will ever be financially stable on her own.
Yes, honey. I do hear it's going to be about 2 years, though, okay? But it is going to happen, so yay. I know it's been a struggle for you, I know. And here's the thing. You feel like you have somebody on the other side who's really helping you to be strong and independent on your own. And it's not just financially speaking, but also emotionally speaking, okay?
All right. Jody asks, will my current partner and I make it through this rocky time in our relationship, and will it last?
You will. So here you guys are. You've been through already quite a lot for where you are in your relationship, and I do feel that the love is strong enough for you guys to overcome, okay? This feels like the worst of the things that you guys are ever going to be through. So once you get over this, that's it. It's definitely going to be a strong relationship after that, okay? So just take it, really one day at a time is what I'm hearing for you. And don't worry about jumping to the future. Just get through this now, okay? Be open, make sure you communicate, all right? And be honest. Don't hide anything or hold anything back. Oh, thank you guys. So generous today, hey?
Mm-hmm. All right. Alyssa asks, I feel like I'm receiving messages, but I don't know what they mean.
Mm-hmm. So you are definitely receiving messages. And what I'm hearing is you get inspirational thought, you see numbers, and then there's also validations with like commercials and things like that. So if you're on YouTube and a commercial comes up, it's like validation. What I want you to do, honey, is I want you to keep a journal and I know it seems kind of silly, but this really is the best way for you to identify how you're receiving your messages and how clear they are, okay? So when something inspired comes through, write it down. When you see numbers, what were you thinking about? What were you saying? What were you feeling? Write that down. I saw this, say, 1111 at the corner of whatever street, and this is what I was thinking about. That's what you're going to write down, okay? As you do that, you're going to start recognizing what they mean and how your guides communicate with you. Sometimes your guides come in and you'll feel like a pressure, and then you'll get an inspired thought, and it feels like, I don't know where that thought came from. It's important you hang on to that, and you always think you're going to remember, but you're not. So write it down, okay? It's very important, but it's going to help you a lot. Okay, thank you so much for the gifts, you guys. You're so generous. Mm-hmm. All right.
All right. Samantha asks, is my dad around, and is he proud of me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your dad is somebody who is very high energy, and what I'm seeing as well, lots of love and just, happy, wants to dance, wants to joy. There's so much joy in his heart. He's very proud of you, honey, and very protective of you. So you have to know that if you don't have the right individuals in your life, your dad's going to step in and he's going to remove them. He literally says that. So make sure that you're picking the right people in your life. So proud of you, honey, and so much love. Like, the love is so strong from him, okay? So you're not alone. Anytime that you want him to let you know he's there, just ask him to give you a sign. He will do that for you, okay? His energy is very strong, so he will be able to do that without any hesitation, okay?
All right. Lindy asks, is there connection to my grandmother with the bees I randomly see?
So I see bees, but I also see other bugs. So she sends beetles, ladybugs, things like that as well. So it's funny because the bees really symbolize you work a little too hard or you're too hard on yourself is kind of how it feels. when you're seeing that, okay? It's not just bees from her though. So she does try to get your attention other ways. She also says she sends animals to you as well. So you get birds, you'll get butterflies, you'll get things like that as well, okay? So just pay attention. When they come, just see where were you? What were you thinking about? Were you thinking about your grandmother? And was this a validation? Was this a reminder that I'm here kind of thing, okay? Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Tainara asks, will I pass in the entrance exam that I will do tomorrow?
Yeah, honey. So just take a deep breath, because you get a little bit overly stressed when it comes to, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. Let me just say it that way. You're going to be fine. You know this stuff. And so I want you to just really go in feeling confident about that. What I would suggest is, if you don't already have some crystals, take some crystals with you. Just help keep you calm, okay? In your particular case, I feel like you need some fluorite just to help keep you focused, and some rose quartz. Okay?
All right, next question.
Yeah.
Ashley asks, will I have a child in my lifetime?
Yeah, honey, you will. It does feel like you're going to maybe need some help with it, but yes, you're definitely going to have, and I hear 2, not just 1. Okay?
All right. Trish asks, should I go on vacation in February?
Yeah, you need it. 100% is going to be okay, and there's not going to be any issues with it, okay? So that's the main thing I think you need to really know, that it's going to be okay. But definitely you need the break. Yeah.
All
okay.
right. 1 second. Liz asks, will I get the news I want this week? I'm so stressed.
Yes. So here's the thing, honey. 100% you are going to get the news that you're looking for, but you need to take that stress and you need to let it go, because what it's doing, it's physically actually harming you. You feel like you're in a lot of pain. What I would do is meditate and visualize yourself receiving the news, okay? And the happiness, and make sure there's movement in it. But it really is the only way to focus yourself and get rid of the stress that's coming in, okay? So just meditate. Honestly, sounds simple, but it really works. Okay?
All right. Nikki asks, is my sister and family safe on their trip to Georgia?
Yes, honey. And, you have sent a lot of positive vibes and protection around them. You think about them a lot, and you really do put a protective bubble around them. So don't worry about them. They're going to be fine.
All right.
Okay.
Danielle asks, will Jim and I ever be in a romantic relationship?
Yeah, eventually is what I hear. So it's going to take some time. Jim's a stubborn man. So it is going to take a little bit of effort on your part. Be patient. But it does feel like it's going to take a bit of time, okay? Yeah.
All right.
Worth it, though, is what I've just been told. So there you go. Thank you, honey.
All right. Dana asks, my mom passed. Is she okay?
Very okay, honey. And, she dances around in your space a lot. So another one that's very happy and high energy. She's not pushy though, so her energy comes in a little bit more subtle, and she said she dreams with you, so those dreams are real. If you aren't remembering them fully, try writing them down before you get out of bed, okay? So just keep a book beside you. But she says she dreams with you all the time. She visits you all the time, and so she's around you, and she's not going anywhere is what she says, so.
All right. Michael asks, are all starseeds psychic?
Yes. So the thing about starseeds is we come in with a big book of knowledge, and as you're learning things, it's more like you're remembering. You're not really learning things, and we have a different way of accessing and a different way of hearing energy and knowing energy. So yes, you don't always use it, but you are always psychic. We'll put it that way.
All right. Nelda asks, does my husband have a message for me? He passed a year ago.
Mm-hmm. So always with you, honey. And I do feel that he lays with you at nighttime. I feel him with you. Okay. one of the things, the sadness is what he really wants to address with you. You have to let that go, because you're not going to stay alone forever. And I know that you feel that this is like, you know, you're never ever going to love again. That's not true. And what I'm hearing from him is he's going to have a hand in your happiness. Even though he's not physically here, he's still going to have a hand in your happiness. Okay, so he's around you, he's there loving you, protecting you, and guiding the right people to you is what he's saying. Okay, so you're not alone, hun.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Heidi asks, will my new boss be helpful?
Yes, but don't give too much information. I don't know what they mean by that, but I think just don't, too much personal information is what it sounds like to me. Okay? So private life, private. Yeah.
All right. Morgan R asks, am I on the correct life path with work and love?
Yeah, honey. You know, you've had a lot of struggles and you've had a lot of complications around finding you. But you're really definitely moving in the right direction that way, okay? Always put yourself first. That's the most important thing and one of the biggest messages I'm hearing for you, okay? Yeah.
All right. Leela asks, will I ever have a baby?
Yeah, I do hear it's going to take a little bit of time, but yes, you will have. Okay? So I know that it's been a struggle for you and it's been something that you've wanted for a really long time, but everything happens in its own timing. Okay, honey?
All right. Amy P asks, is my dad guiding my awakening?
Not your dad. So he's there and he is watching over you, but you actually have it's almost angelic energy around you that is the one that's shining the light where you need to be going. Okay, your dad is really just a bystander watching and proud of the whole situation, but he's not the one guiding in particular. Okay, now that being said, he does still leave you messages and support in that, but you have angelic energy that's guiding you is what I'm hearing. Okay.
All right. Alexandra asks, any messages from my grandma Joy? She passed in 2016.
Yeah. And so again, somebody who is around you sporadically. So what I'm seeing is there's a lot of people that she visits and you don't need her as much as you used to, is what she says. So she comes and visits and she checks in on you quite regularly, but she's not there all the time. Okay. So when you have her pop into your head, that's really the easiest way for you to validate, oh, she must be here, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's so random when she does pop in. And I do hear that she does play, you can feel her energy in the air. So it's like static, and she likes to play with your hair. So there's like static in the air, you'll feel it's almost thick, and then she'll play with your hair. Okay, so she's pretty relevant when you need her, but she's not there all the time. Okay.
All right. Jenna asks, will I have another baby?
Yeah, so for you, it feels like 17 months. They're very specific in that, okay? So whatever's going on, just give it some time, okay?
Right, here's another baby question. Missy asks, my daughter wants to have another child. Will she have another baby?
She will, yeah. Again, in the right timing, though, for her, okay? And she wants to do it now, and it feels like it's not time. So there's going to be a little bit of a delay there.
All right. Danny asks, will I get the money to move soon, please?
Yeah, I do hear that it's going to happen, but it's a little bit later than you think, okay? So it's not the month and the timing that you're thinking. It feels like it's a little bit later, a few months later than what you're thinking, okay, honey?
All right. Candace A. Candace A asks, are any of my family members guiding me?
Mm-hmm. So you have, wow, you're a medium, hun. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that, but you can talk to spirit. You've had a lot of losses, and that is usually indicative of somebody who is able to talk to the other side. So what I hear is there is not just guidance, but you have prophetic dreaming, and you have information that comes from them, okay? So they guide your life, but they also give you psychic information. So you need to start keeping track of that and really recording it and learn how to talk to them like a medium does. Okay.
All right. Callie asks, will my kids be okay? They are sensitive.
So they're very empathic, very psychic. They've come in quite open, quite dilated. So you need to learn how to teach them how to deal with that. And you got to learn too, honey, because you're sensitive as well. You're not as sensitive as them, but the next generation tends to come in a little bit stronger. What I'm going to say is teach them meditation. Crystals, they work really well. I mean, you guys always see, I always have crystals with me. It's a thing. It just helps with grounding, and it helps with clearing, okay? And teach them how to meditate and breathe. That's really important, how to get rid of the energy, because they're definitely very empathic and very emotionally sensitive, okay? And they're going to be fine. They're going to learn. But you need to learn too. Okay?
All right. Jasmine asks, will I get my manifestation? Thank you.
Yeah, you're going to get all of those manifestations that you've been writing down is what I'm hearing. So yes, 100%, you know, there's the next 2 years for you are big is what I hear. And there's a lot of amazing new adventures coming your way. New people, new experiences, and a lot of abundance is what I hear. Okay, so keep focused. It's going to be fun.
All right. Kim asks, my dreams are so weird and vivid. What do they mean? Thanks.
So with you, honey, you're very psychic. And so psychics tend to have really crazy dreams, right? We know this to be true. So what I would suggest is keep a record of your dreams, because they're definitely very loud and there's a lot of information with it. I also do hear that because you're not always dealing with what's going on in your waking life, you're dealing with it a lot in your sleep. Okay? So it's a way of processing the energy and clearing.
All right. Mm-hmm. Next question.
You bet.
Christina asks, will my rainbow baby come back to me?
Yes. Yeah. Same soul. The reason why this didn't happen was it was the wrong sex. So it was supposed to be the opposite sex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heather asks, did my husband make the right decision staying at his job?
Yes, for now. So there is going to be an opportunity for change to happen, but it's not for another 2 years is what I hear. Okay?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Keegan asks, will I be able to go home to South Africa?
Oh, so I'm hearing that there's a lot of complication, but you will get home. Don't worry about that. But it feels like you're going to have to do it like really a roundabout way. So it feels like a very long process, whatever it is that you have to do, okay? And it's like around. It's no direct, no straight. It's like around. I don't know what they mean by that, but I guess you're going to find out.
All right. Petra asks, am I moving next year?
Yes. Yeah. And make sure that, it sounds like there might be somebody who's going to be helping you with that. So just make sure that you do reach out and you allow the help. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen asks, I've been trying to conceive with no luck. Will I ever have more children? If so, when?
I hear that you're going to need some help with it. So whatever is going on with you physically speaking, it looks like you are going to need some intervention, and it does feel like it might be about 2 years before it happens, okay? Yeah. Thanks, guys.
This is an interesting question.
Okay.
Antoinette asks, can empaths feel other people who are also empaths?
Yes. 100%. The thing is, when you're an empath, you're very emotionally sensitive and you're feeling other people's emotions. So if they're feeling other people's emotions as well, it kind of works that way, right? And so if I was feeling you're an empath and you have family that's an empath as well, I could also feel them. So it really is just a matter of learning how to navigate the energy and understand it. But yeah, you definitely can feel it.
All right. Amber D asks, do you see a happy relationship coming for me? Alone 7 years. Thank you.
It's going to be about 8 months, but yes. Okay. You have to get clear on what you're looking for, because you have a bunch of ideas, but you haven't actually concreted them. So what they mean by that is, like, you'll be watching something on TV and you'll be like, oh, I'd really like somebody like that. But then it kind of goes against what you wanted before, right? And so you really have to get clear on what you're looking for in your partner, and then that person can come into your experience, okay?
All right. Angie asks, are we going to build a new house or stay where we are at now?
I hear you're going to build. It does feel like it's going to be in the future, though, so it's not happening right away. 2 years is what I'm hearing, okay? So 2023.
All right. Also, we have about 15 minutes left if you want to go over everything
wow.
over time. I know.
Okay. Haha. So I do provide private readings. If you guys are interested in doing a reading with me, you can book through my website, RebeccaDragonheart.com. On my website, there's a little bit more about me, plus some testimonials on there so you can hear what other people are saying about their experiences with their readings with me. I'm also on YouTube, and I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys would like to subscribe, I will be doing a live as soon as I hit that 1,000 subscribers. So I'd really appreciate the support. That's it.
All right. Noah's GG 1972 asks, why is there so much friction between me and my daughter?
It's funny. It's karma. So what I'm hearing is it's like leftover from a previous experience that you guys had, and so there's that energy to work through. Okay. So when I say karma, it's not like karma in the old sense of the word. It's more like this is a carried forward energy that you have to now clear, and you guys have to work through. So what I would suggest with her is be patient, because I know that can be very difficult, and meditation works really well in communicating with her. So what I would do is get into a meditative state, and I would talk to her soul. Okay. And so what I mean by that is you pull her up in front of you, and you have that conversation that's really difficult for you to have in this actual experience. Like you can't really communicate with her about certain things. And so communicate with her on a spiritual level. Okay. It will help a lot.
All right. Wanda asks, I've been told that I am an empath and have psychic abilities. Do you feel that it's true?
Yes, honey. And you know that is true. You are, I will say, emotionally not fully capable of handling it yet. So you really got to work on your emotions. It's really about finding that balance between yourself and others. You do not need to take on everybody's stuff. What you need to do is you need to help them to clear it themselves. Okay. And that's the thing that you're making the mistake on, is because you take everybody's problems and you carry it around with you. They go away feeling all hunky-dory, and then you're sitting here trying to deal with and cope with it. Okay. So get your emotions stable. That's going to help a lot. All right. And you're not here to save the world. You're here to help people save themselves. Okay.
All right. Yanira asks, am I having a baby boy? I have 6 daughters.
I think it's a girl. I'm sorry. But very strong, independent girl.
All right.
Sorry.
Breezy_D asks, how can I help my daughter, Desiree?
Oh, a lot of emotional support is what Desiree needs. And Desiree is a very sensitive soul, sensitive in a lot of different ways, but very, very sensitive to loud, I guess is the best way to put it. So negative energy, loud energy, angry energy, she can't handle. So she's going to need to learn how to cope with that. Crystals help a lot. I hear for her, she needs some tourmaline. So tourmaline is this beautiful little guy. I love it. It just works like a shield, helps with grounding, helps, block the negative stuff. And then I also hear that she needs some rose quartz as well. So she struggles a lot with self-love. Okay. And so supporting her that way, helping her understand herself, is going to be a big one. Okay.
All right. Jaylene asks, am I on the right path in my spiritual journey?
Yeah, and you have a lot of help. So there are a lot of people being brought into your life that are going to really help you to open up and expand. So really trust what you're drawn to. So, just even this kind of a platform on TikTok, if there's somebody that you really find interesting and their information seems to really resonate well, trust that. So trust even on YouTube and different things like that. And I hear that their teachers are coming. So you've been asking for guidance, and I hear that that is coming for you. Okay, honey? So you do have it. Yeah.
All right. Vanessa asks, will Pablo ask me to be his girlfriend? Please, thank you.
Yeah, it feels it's so sweet. Yeah, just be patient, honey. But yeah, it's going to happen, okay? And I know that energetically you're ready, and so is Pablo. It's very cute energy. I like it. It's going to be fun.
All right. Shelia Rose asks, will I get pregnant again? Will it be with my current boyfriend?
Yeah, I do hear that it's going to happen. It feels like it's going to happen in about 7 months. Okay. So for next year. Yeah. Thank you, honey.
All right. Oh, I just went back up.
They move really fast, I know.
All right. Tina asks, am I doing good working with my family, or should I move on?
I hear you should move on, honey. So here's the thing. There's no room for you to have growth. So you've kind of been put in a box, and that's where you're going to stay if you stay with the family, okay? So there's more opportunities for financial abundance and growth if you leave. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Kendra asks, I have lost several people recently. Can they hear me when I pray and talk to them?
Yeah, honey. And the easiest thing to do is to just look at a picture of them and talk to that. That's the easiest way to pull their energy in. I don't feel that there's any difficulty with them being able to hear you at all. So they're definitely hearing your messages. That's the best way to put it, because you do pray and talk at the same time, so they're messages really. And what I would really pay attention to are them responding, because I do feel that happens quite a lot. So you just need to recognize the signs, okay? Yeah. All
right. This person says, hey Rebecca, I'm Amelia. I need guidance on what career I should pursue in the future.
So I see you at a computer screen, and it looks like you might be blogging or something like that. So whatever it is that you're doing, it's like some type of writing, blogging of some sort for somebody. So it may be for a company that you're doing it for. And it actually even feels like it might be travel or something, like travel blogging or something like that, okay? It's just you writing and you're being paid for it. That's what it looks like.
All right. Gabby asks, will me and Donovan end up dating in January of 2022?
So the potential is there, but I also feel that somebody else is going to come into your experience. So there might be a better vibrational match that's coming into your life for next year. Okay, honey? So just weigh your odds. That's what I hear. Okay? All right.
All right. Carly asks, any messages for my Grandma Rose, please?
Oh, so much love, honey. She is a hugger. So she touches you, she hugs you, she holds you. She's just such a loving soul. Very gentle and very caring about you. Watches out for you and really is about protecting you, okay? And so the guidance that she gives you is the people in your life. So she's going to make sure that you're good, honey. She's just so lovey. Like, it's just anytime her energy is around, she just wants to hold you. And that's what she does. She just holds you. So she's not gone, and you don't ever forget her, is what she says. Like, you are always sharing your energy with her. She just gave me goosebumps. Sweet, sweet lady. Definitely sweet. Thank you so much, honey.
All right, next question.
Yeah.
This person says, hi Rebecca, Kayla here. Can you please tell me what's happening with me and Matt? I'm so confused.
Yeah, so it feels like there is a separation of the energies. So there might be, it might be that Matt needs some time, is what I'm hearing. The problem is that you don't have to give it. So what I'm hearing for you is you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to make a choice here. And it feels like he's pulling away. And the pulling away is not your fault. It is 100% on him and what he is feeling and going through, okay? And he has nothing to do with you. It really feels like it's a self-experience. It feels like you probably aren't going to last, unfortunately. Sorry, honey. But that being said, I do hear that somebody is going to come into your life that is a really great individual. And it feels like it's going to be early. So it's like February, March. So it's coming in beginning of next year for you. Okay? Take the time that you're going to need to really clear that energy, and you're going to be okay.
All right. Nicole M asks, am I making the right choice in my career right now? I need help.
Yeah, you are. And the thing is, what you're doing right now is just the opening the doors for you, honey. Okay? So trust that you're going in the right direction. And what I'm hearing is where you're heading right now, this is a temporary starting point, and there's going to be a lot of different opportunities opening up because of it. So it's definitely, I know it's scary and not necessarily what you thought you were going to be doing, but it is definitely where you're headed. Okay? And it's going to just open up so much for you. So it's definitely the right choice. Okay?
All right. Marie Claire asks, why did I feel so strongly about Chad?
So it feels like a soulmate type energy connection. However, that being said, it doesn't feel like that's what the relationship was supposed to be like this time around. Okay, so you guys have a long lasting, feels like many lives together, and it's not supposed to be that this time. For whatever reason, you guys made that decision before you came here, that it was just going to be there's the connection. We're going to do a little bit together, but we're not staying together is what it feels like. Okay. So not a bad thing. It's good to have that. And what I hear for you is the right vibrational match is coming in. It's early 2023. So not next year, but the following one. Okay.
All right. Queen B _81 asks, "Hi Rebecca, any message from my brother or bestie? It's been a year today."
So with your brother, yeah, I mean, he comes and checks on you. He's not there all the time, but he comes and checks on you. It feels like your friend is there all the time, like just never not there. There's a lot of love from your friend, your brother as well, but it's different, right? You guys have a different relationship. He feels like a jokester, so he does play pranks on you, your brother. Moves things, hide things, that kind of stuff. So when you can't find something, you tell him to bring it back, please, because that's how he plays with you. And spirits are fun, hey? Your friend, it feels like, visits you a lot in your sleep time. So if you're dreaming about them, just take note and keep track of that, okay? And they're with you all the time, your friend, is what it feels like. Yeah.
All right. Stephanie asks, "Who is my 3-year-old seeing? Sometimes he is scared. Should I be worried?"
No, you don't have to be afraid. So what it is your child is open, and so it's kind of like a revolving door. The only reason why I feel that there's any fear is because sometimes it's somebody they don't know, and that can be very scary. What I would do, my little one was like that actually. But I've had 5 children, and a couple of them had this same issue, and obsidian works. So this isn't obsidian, but get it in obelisk form, so this size, and put it beside them in the room. Make sure it's big enough that he can't put it in his mouth, because you don't want that. But what it does is it helps to kind of keep away anything that isn't feeling good, right? I would also probably sparingly sage or whatever your culture or belief system is. Incense works. I like to burn cinnamon or lavender, both clear out the space. I don't feel like it's anything bad. It's just that your child is open, and so spirit's just coming in. It feels more like a revolving door. Okay. And there is a grandmother energy around him that does come in to watch over him at night. So he's not alone. Okay.
All right. Nicole asks, where is the connection with Kelly and Nicole headed?
Yeah, you guys have a lot to learn from each other is what I'm hearing. So it's going to be an interesting experience, definitely a promising experience. And I do feel that it could be very long-term if you want it to be. Okay. So just keep your heart open. That was really cool. Thank you. Whoever did that.
This will probably be
our last question. Yeah. Okay, so before I do that, you have your question saved?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to do one more question. I will be back on again, so don't worry about that. If you guys could go check out my YouTube and subscribe, that would be amazing. Once I hit 1,000, I will do lives on there as well as here on my TikTok. Also, if you do want to book a reading with me, just head to my website, RebeccaDragonheart.com. There's a lot more information about me there and a ton of testimonials so that you can see what other people are saying about their experiences, okay? And you have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Myra asks, any messages from my friends that passed away, Alex and Pork Chop?
Yeah, so they do want you to be happy, honey, and they do come in and check on you quite often. What I hear specifically, it's Pork Chop.
Yes.
Yeah, specifically with Pork Chop, it's like there was a promise made, or there's a promise on their side where they want to make sure that you're okay. They're not going anywhere, and that's the promise. Like, I'm gonna always be here until you tell me you don't want me here anymore. Okay, so there's a lot of support from both of them. Notification, it'll let you know when I'm on. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you so much for the gifts. You guys are awesome, and I will see you again in a few days. Okay, bye.